Everybody, good afternoon. It's about 4:15 p.m. It is Tuesday before the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States of America. 23rd of November. We have just a little over a month before Christmas, and the year is almost over. So what I'd like to do is I want to focus on Bitcoin right now. Just a real quick note. S&P 500, NASDAQ, I do believe they bottomed for the week. And I think generally speaking, we're going to see a little bit of a tick up through the end of the week. We'll just kind of see how things go. But Bitcoin, I believe, is creating a bottoming formation. I want to talk about that. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. That is all. So let's go ahead and move on into the charts, take a look at things, and see where we're at. So this is Bitcoin. We have had this same count. It's evolved. It has evolved. But we've had this same count, this same projection, this same trajectory ever since we were all the way back here at 30,000. And all the way over here where I said to buy at 41,000, right? We've had the target set on 73 to 75 basically this whole time. And obviously, we got to about 69. We didn't quite make it up here, but I do believe it is still in the cards for us to realize that target. So I want to talk a little bit about what it's going to take for us to get there. All right. So first off, let's just kind of recap for those that may not have caught this when we did. We basically had correction equality down here. And what that means is we had the first move down and then we had the pullback. And that second move down was basically of equal size as the first move down. Correction equality happens all the time, right? So you had a big sell-off and then you had a little correction, right? You had a little ABC up into this wave B. And then you had this next move down. And it happened to be about the same size as the first move down, okay? So what did we have? Up here, we had a 1, we had a deep 2, okay? And then right here, we had a 3, and then in my opinion, this was a deep 4. It did not violate these highs over here for this wave 1. So this is still looking good, right? So this looks okay. Now, we're going up here for wave 5, all right? So a couple things that I don't like. So let me just be completely upfront and honest here. Something that I don't like about this count is the fact that we have just a little wave 2, okay? A tiny wave 2 here. And then we have this 3, and then I was counting this as an A, a B, and a C into sort of kind of an expanded flat. And that would mean that we're basically bottoming here. The only thing that I don't like about this is the fact that this is a small wave 2 and this is a huge wave 4. It doesn't look right. So this is what keeps me skeptical of this particular count. However, you can count this a nice ABC. You have an ABC. So this is a 3, 3, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this 3, I may change this, put the 3 down here and the 4 up here. And then we go down for wave 5, which again could still flush down to about 53. I could totally see that as a possibility, okay? It's possible that this 5 is in. It is very possible this 5 is in. I wanted to zoom in here. I want to take a look at this because it's important to take a look at the indicators. All right, so first off, let's just go ahead and expand our indicator that we use. I'm going to put the RSI in here. I don't usually do that, but I think it's important. I'm going to remove the 3-hour and I'm going to remove the 12-hour for right now. I want to focus on the hourly and I want to focus on the RSI. All right. So zooming in a little bit more because of what I want to focus on here, just to clear things up, I'm going to take a look at this low and I'm going to take a look at this low. All right. So first off, it's important to note we did create a lower low. Okay. So let's just be clear about that. We have a lower low. And then looking at the RSI, which is this pink indicator on the hourly, we've got a higher low on the RSI. It's not exaggerated, but it is there. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that we can't come back down here, right? It doesn't mean we can't come back down and try and take out stops at 55,000. right? All right, Chris, talking to you here. It doesn't mean that we can't come back down and take out the stops at 55,000 because that's very possible. I've seen Bitcoin do that before. But what I will say is what we had in this candle earlier today. This was at 4 o'clock in the morning today. And again, this is Eastern time, Eastern Daylight Time. We had a nice cleansing candle. These cleansing candles are necessary, right? They're necessary for movements to the upside, right? We have seen these over and over, right? We saw a cleansing candle here before we moved down and had a big move up, right? We had a big cleansing candle back here, right, before we moved up, okay? Typically, when we get these kinds of cleansing candles, we pull back and then we see a movement to the upside. So again, if this is going to follow the same suit, basically what I would expect to see here is a pullback to about right here, which is going to be about 56,000, and then we're going to see a move up into this cluster right here before it moves up higher. It's very important for us to get into this cluster, and let me just explain why. It's important because of this block right here, okay? Let me just pull this over, and then I'm going to kind of get rid of our box on the inside. Okay, so we've got the upper. Let me just adjust this a little bit. We've got an upper range. I'm using candle bodies on the hourly. We've got nice resistance here, nice support here, right? Then we had resistance right here in this candle. We had resistance right here in this candle. So it's important for us to get back inside of this range. If we can so much as get inside the range, right? I don't even care about breaking up out of the range at this point. If we can simply get back into it and, you know, get to the resistance up here at about 61, back down here to the support at about 59, I'm going to take a leverage trade there. Okay? You know, if you were able to get a leverage trade down here at about 55, 55.5, whatever it may be, you know, that's great. That's great. But what I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be looking for this pullback, and then I'm going to need to see a movement to the upside. Now, the hourly is starting to look like it wants to curl down. And it's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing. If we just move sideways up here and then move up, well, that'll give this time to move down. All right, let's go ahead and put the 3 hour and put the 12 hour back on there. And just again, take a look at this. You've got the 12 hour, which looks okay. It looks okay. It looks like it wants to cross bullish. More than likely, we're going to see a lime green candle. And typically, you know, historically speaking, last time we had one was right here. You can see the lime green candle. That is coinciding with the 12 hour crossing bullish, right? And that looked good, right? So that looked pretty darn good. You don't see a crossing red candle here because the candle body was so small. It opened at 57,208, closed at 57,204, so you're not going to see that. But the candle body for a bearish cross is red. So we're basically just kind of moving sideways right now. People are getting chopped. And honestly, that's what this has been. You know, down, up, down, and here we are. We're moving back up. Now, again, I want to see us move up into here. My target is and will remain 72 or 73 to 75,000, right? So the 100% is right here at 73. Now again, let's go ahead and pull this guy back down. I'm going to take this and I'm going to look at the 4 hour. Now the count's going to look a little funny because it's going to be kind of compressed. But again, looking at this, is this, you know, an A, a B, and working on the C, which means we can go up here to 72. We could technically go up as high as about 84 to 85. That would be a valid target to the upside. I'm targeting that 100% equality. The correction equality is what I'm targeting up to the upside, and that's the reason why. Again, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're working on that 5, the target's going to be about 73. If this is an A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, well, we've got this 72 and potentially, again, 85, right? One way or another, 72 to 75, 73 to 75, and then 85, those are the two targets to the upside that I would be looking at before we see a significant pullback. And I do think we're going to get another pullback once we, you know, continue to make highs. We see this in equities all the time, right? So we do see these in equities quite a bit. Again, obviously, I believe this wave 4 is done. From all the way back here, we've got our 1, 2. This goes all the way back to the beginning of 2020. 1, 2. We had our big move up to the 3 that finished an ending diagonal right here. And then we've got our 4, right? We had a shallow 2. We had a deep 4. This is common, right? Usually the laws of alternation, I guess I shouldn't call them the laws of alternation. I'm just saying that typically in Elliott wave, you do have alternation where one corrective wave is short or shallow and the other one is long or deep. In this case, we had something that took longer and it also went pretty deep. It did go pretty deep. So now, again, we're looking at this movement here to the upside. So question is this 4 in? I believe it is. Now the bigger question is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I think that's possible, but I have to keep my red count on here, which is the bearish alternative, which tells me it's possible that we see a correction to the downside, potentially into the new year, after the new year starts, which would be pretty devastating for altcoin positions. Generally speaking, we've been doing okay. We got a really good return on Binance Coin. We got a really good return on Alice. We got a really good return on Mbox. We got stopped out on things like Phantom. We even had a good trade on Solana as well. So we've had some good trades. We've had some bad ones. With everything in trading, there are some good and there is some bad. But generally speaking, we're doing okay here on crypto. One thing that I will make note of, I'm going to say one more thing, and then we're going to go ahead and end our stream here today. Looking at the weekly, okay, that's going to be our white wave. Let's just go ahead and turn everything off and focus just on the weekly. Okay, so this is our white wave, which is the weekly. Historically speaking, any time in Bitcoin's history, this thing has gone into oversold, which you can see I've circled this. But historically speaking, every time it's gone into oversold territory has been a good time to buy, right? And honestly, whenever it's been up here in the bullish control zone, that's not a time to be shorting necessarily, because you can see how long it stayed up here. It can stay up here for a long time. Let's go to the 6 hours so we can see a little more history. When were the last times this one was in oversold? So we had back here. This is all the way down here at the bottom in October of 2019, right? This was right before the 24th, and we had a big move up right after that. And then we had another pullback, and then what happened? We had a decent sized move up. Both of them went up to about the same spot, had a capitulation, had some bullish divergence on the weekly, which eventually took some time to work themselves out, but this worked out really well. And you can just continue to use that, and obviously the history on here isn't all that great. I probably would have to pull up Bitstamp, and I'm not sure what this chart's going to look like. I've got a lot of stuff on here. But going back into the past, right, when we were down here in oversold, this was back in 2018 when we were creating our lows. But, back here, we had a low right here and a big move up. We had a low right here, we had a big move up, right? And then the next time where we saw signs that things were starting to settle would all the way down here in the bottom in 2018 and then early 2019 before April came along. April Fools, we had the wall that was created, and then we came back and we retested that, right? Any gaps that were there were filled, and then the rest is history. So that's all I'm really going to say about that. We're watching this pretty closely because we do have some altcoin exposure. Last thing I will say is most altcoins are scams, so be very careful. Be very careful. Like, for instance, there's a lot of people talking about SHIB. We bought SHIB all the way back here, okay? And just be very careful because, I was taking profit along the way, and I gave that final alert. I was like, we're up 990% on the trade. Just sell everything. And currently, it's down like 38% from those highs. So just be very careful exposing yourself. These are the kinds of things that I look for. I look for things that are just kind of sleeping, not something that's already gone pretty parabolic. All right. That's all I've got on Bitcoin. Again, target 73.75. If it breaks that, we're looking at 85. And then I believe we're going to get a decent correction from those areas where we'll have a good opportunity to to get in some new positions if you are not. Generally speaking, if you're going to be trying to work on a dollar cost average, wait for the dip, assuming you're in a good position already. Like if you were in from, say, 41, right, I would be looking to dollar cost average here, and then I'd be looking to unload everything again up at about 73 to 75 and going from there. But if you're holding from, say, 2020 and you're holding from, $7, $9, $11,000, well, if you're looking at dollar cost average, really back here at 30 was the time to do it. But I do believe that you'll get another opportunity in the 40s sometime in the coming months. All right. Well, that's all I've got for right now. I hope this video did help you. If it did, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you need access to our Discord, you can find out all the information that you need on BitDoctor.org. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.